Hello there. Welcome to Just the Discs. We talk about Blu-rays here, and of course 4Ks, and today I have a sort of a special unboxing treat for y'all. This is the new Paramount Scares Vol.1 box set. And it's a beautiful box set. Big thanks to Paramount Home Entertainment for sending this for me to show you guys. You can see the artwork incorporates the films we're going to talk about. There's some Rosemary's Baby and some other stuff happening on this cover. This is a really nice box. It's a big old box. It's got the features on a slip on the back. I'm not going to show you that because one of the things that they mentioned, that Paramount Home End mentioned, is that there is a surprise title in this set. It is 5 4Ks, and some have Blu-rays, etc. But the fifth title is kind of a surprise title. The surprise has been spoiled online. You can find out what's in the set if you like, but I'm not going to talk about it here. But I do believe it's a 4K debut. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it is. Anyway, so this is a really nice, beautiful box, and there's some really cool stuff in here. So we're going to open this up and have a look. So to start with, as soon as you open it, you get this really great special smaller edition of Fangoria that is specially created for this set. It's, as you can see, it's a thinner, it's not a full issue of Fangoria, but it has articles about the movies involved. Oh, and actually there's the special secret title is revealed in here too. So obviously I'm not going to go through all this, but you have articles from Justin Beam, Alexandra Heller-Nicholas on Rosemary's Baby, revisiting, set visit for Pet Cemetery, Crafting Crawl. Alexandra Aja does his own thing for that. Director's POV on Crawl, Alexandra Aja, and Smile Trauma Goes Viral by Heather Wixson as well. So, really beautiful. Yeah, just really nice magazine, commemorative magazine you get with this set. So that's super cool. On top of that, we get some stickers. Wait, let me just make sure. Don't know if these are spoiling the secret title or not, but yeah, we get some stickers that come with it, and then each of the 5 4Ks has its own exclusive slip cover. This is new artwork for. We'll start with Rosemary's Baby. Guess I got this upside down. There we go. That's a slipcover for Rosemary's Baby. Now this Rosemary's Baby 4K is going to be a big draw for this set. This is just coming out. You can, of course, get it separately, but it's one of the big parts of the set. So this has a 4K Blu-ray and a digital code, and I'm going to go through what's on the 4K. The 4K is actually bare bones. Now, I have to note, because somebody mentioned this already to me, and I don't know that it's been addressed yet, but apparently there is a missing partial line of dialogue in the audio track. I'm not sure if it's for all audio tracks, or does this have multiple? Shoot, I don't know if it has. I guess it's on the main track. There's a missing line of dialogue apparently when Dr. Saperstein says, "We happen to be in labor here." Only the word "here" is audible, but the line is intact. But the subtitles indicate it, and the line is intact on the Blu-ray. So I don't know if this is going to be a case where they have to replace the disc or what, but just bear that in mind if you're buying the Rosemary's Baby 4K. Apparently there's a slight audio issue, very slight. But it looks wonderful. I mean, the 4K itself, again, there's a certain softness. I think William Fraker shot this. But it's, I mean, looks, again, as good as I've ever seen it look. And the 60s of it all, the clothes, the sort of drab look of the apartments and everything like that, the detail, all of it looks great in 4K. So I was really not let down by the 4K of it at all. In terms of the Blu-ray, it has a retrospective called Rosemarys Baby, a retrospective that's 17 minutes, and that includes interviews with Robert Evans, production designer Richard Silbert, and Roman Polanski. And they're all talking about, director Roman Polanski, of course, talking about the film, what attracted them to it. They talk about William Castle and his involvement in the movie and how he found, the book and everything, ended up being a producer and stuff. But there's lots of other things about, the production that come up through these interviews. And then there's something called Mia and Roman. That's a vintage 23-minute behind-the-scenes archival featurette, which has interviews with Mia Farrow and Roman Polanski. And those interviews play mostly as audio over behind-the-scenes footage of the movie. So it's a sort of in-depth in terms of a lot of interview audio and a lot of behind-the-scenes footage, which is cool to see for such an iconic film as Rosemary's Baby. So anyway, that is what's included here. Of course, you also get a digital code with this. But like I said, in terms of the video quality, it's really solid looking transfer for Rosemary's Baby. Okay, so that's one. Next up is probably my favorite film in the set, and that's Crawl. This is Alexandra Aja's film from 2019, and it is just an awesome alligator attack movie. This is the new slipcover, and the 4K has been available previously, so you may have already picked it up, but I didn't have the 4K, so I was very excited to get it. This only comes with a 4K and a digital code. Now, this movie, just fantastic as far as I'm concerned. Just really a great animal attack movie and a story of a father and daughter. Daughter goes out to find her dad, sort of a strange dad. It's Barry Pepper plays the dad, and Kaya Scodelario. I messed that up. She plays the daughter. She's fantastic. And she finds him at their old house. He's caught in the crawl space, and there are some alligators down there. And she has to try and, he's been injured. She has to try and get him out of the crawl space under the house without getting killed by these alligators. All the while, a Category 5 hurricane is hitting. This is in southern Florida, and the house is flooding and starting to fill up. And it's got a great tension that builds as you go through the house filling up. And I just love it. Like, it's, the more I watch it, the more I love it. The features on here, I can't remember if this was on the Blu-ray, but it must have been. I don't know. It's called Beneath Crawl. It's basically a making of. It's 28 minutes. It includes interviews with director Alexandra Aja, producer Sam Raimi, which is certainly, I want to say, part of the reason this movie's so good is because Aja is great, but having Sam Raimi as a collaborator, I think, upped the game on this a little bit, even though you keep hearing stories throughout about ideas that Sam Raimi was pitching that Aja turned down, which were all the stuff I heard him talk about. I'm like, yeah, that was actually a good idea not to do that, even despite loving Raimi and his ideas. But anyway, Raimi is in this doc. Actor Barry Pepper, actor Kaya Scodelario, producer Craig Flores, screenwriters Sean and Michael Rasmussen, DP Maxine Alexandra, FX people, just all kinds of stuff in this fascinating story of how they made this movie and how they built all the sets in, was it Belgrade? I can't remember where, but they basically got some warehouses and they built multiple tanks for multiple sets. And it is just, I mean, you know, any movie with this much water, you know, is going to be difficult, but I've always been impressed with how good it looks, despite how much visual effects, and I'm not even realizing exactly how much visual effects were involved in the movie. And boy, it's a lot, but it's really neat to see this story of how this was made. I'm a big Aja fan too. You know, he of course directed High Tension and Piranha, the remake of the remake. Yeah, so anyway, this is a great featurette, really good. I would love a commentary, but this does a decent job between this and Aja's involvement in some of these other featurettes. There's the intro to the alternate opening, which is 25 seconds of Aja explaining about this motion comic alternate open. And then they have the alternate open, which is about 4 minutes, 50 seconds, done in a motion comic animated style. So it's like frames that sort of move, but not really. But it starts with the text. There are currently 1.5 million alligators in southern Florida. In this region, there have been 300 documented alligator attacks. 27 of them have been fatal. And the sequences of this family leaving their house during the flooding. They get in the car. They start to drive away. They get caught in traffic. The dad gets out to help another car. And gators, lots of gators. And it's an intense opening. It would have been interesting. But there's something to me about the idea of not seeing the gators till much later in the movie that I kind of like. Even though I like a good inciting incident and it creates tension about, everything once you've revealed that, I still kind of like the opening that we have. Anyway, next up is Category 5 Gators, the VFX of Crawl. It's 11 and a half minutes. Includes interviews with Aja, his visual effects supervisors, Raimi again, and producer Craig Flores, a bunch of the visual effects guys from a company called Rodeo FX, the CG supervisor. They're all talking about the complexities of the designing and creating the alligators, and they did a heck of a job because they look really, really good in the movie, I think. Nice little featurette about that stuff. Alligator Attacks is literally that. It's a 1.5-minute compilation of all the alligator attacks in the movie, and it's intense to watch it. And then the deleted and extended scenes, about 6 minutes of those. So anyway, I love this movie. I'm very happy to see it as part of this set. Again, there's a digital code in here as well as the 4K. And the 4K looks great. I mean, it really is it's a new movie, so it looks wonderful in 4K. So that's Crawl. Next up, we have Pet Sematary. This is the 1989 Mary Lambert version of the film. This is a 4K and a Blu-ray and a digital code. And this one has some extras on the 4K. It has a commentary by director Mary Lambert. It has Pet Sematary Fear and Remembrance. It's about 7 minutes or so. And it opens with a sort of trailer for Pet Sematary, the 2019 remake, and then goes into interviews with a whole bunch of the folks involved in the remake. So you have producer Mark Varadian, screenwriter Jeff Bueller, actor Jason Clarke, co-directors Kevin Kolsch and Dennis Widmeyer, production designer Todd Cherniawski, actor Amy Seimetz. They all talk about their memories of the original Pet Sematary, how it affected them, what stood out to them. And it's pretty cool to see them sort of reflecting on the film. And I did like the remake. And then Pet Sematary Revisitation, about 9.5 minutes. And this is just interviews with Mary Lambert, the director of the 89 version, talking about Stephen King and how she was working on a music video in 88 and how she got the script and was initially interested because she liked Stephen King, despite the fact that she didn't think of herself as a horror director. But then she really wanted to do it, and apparently she had to pitch directly to Stephen King, and he's a guy who liked to meet at Denny's for burgers, whereas other people would go to really expensive restaurants. He liked Denny's, and she thought that was great. And she pitched herself. Her take was good enough, and he had sign-off on director for this one. He had written the script from his own book, I believe. And she talks about that and working with Miko Hughes, who played Gage, who was only 2.5, by the way, and that's incredible because he does make a really remarkable impression, and how the producers wanted twins, but he was not a twin, but she wanted him so badly that they ended up going with him despite the difficulties therein from that. And she talks about rescanning the negative for the 4K and how good it looks, and I agree, it really does look nice on this 4K. So that's all the features that are included on the 4K itself. The Blu-ray then includes those features plus original features from the DVD, I think. Something called Stephen King Territory, which is 13 minutes, 10 seconds. And it has an interview with Stephen King. He's actually walking around. I don't know if it's the set or the locations a little bit, which is kind of fun. He's just walking around talking about the story. Part of it's based on his own daughter and her losing her own cat. And a biographer, author, critic Douglas E. Winter, actor Dale Midkiff, who plays Lewis Creed in the movie, and director Mary Lambert and actor Brad Greenquist, who plays Victor Pascow. They all talk about their feelings about the book and the Stephen King and the material. So that's a fun little featurette. Next one is called The Characters. It's about 12 minutes, 52 seconds. It includes interviews with director Mary Lambert, actor Dale Midkiff again, Stephen King again. Actor Fred Gwynne is involved in this, and he's great in the original Pet Sematary. Actor Brad Greenquist again, and DP Peter Stein talking about shooting things for the movie and So that's a really nice one, but coming from the character point of view a little bit more, obviously. And then filming the horror, about 10.5 minutes. This includes interviews with Douglas E. Winter again, Mary Lambert, Dale Midkiff, Brad Greenquist, and is written, directed, and produced by Laurent Bouzereau, if you're a fan of his work, and I am. This one is from a while ago, but so those are all the features included on this new 4K for Pet Sematary, which has been available previously as well, but is a really nice set and looks good, and has this new slipcase, which is pretty good, and I like the glowing eyes of the cat on it. And the last title I can talk about is Smile from 2022, is it? I think. Yeah. This is the Paramount horror movie. I will show you the slipcase first. So, shiny slipcases, which is kind of cool. Now, this is just a 4K and a digital code, so all the features I'm going to talk about are on this 4K. Now, this movie, of course, after witnessing a bizarre, traumatic incident involving a patient, Dr. Rose Cotter, Sosie Bacon, starts experiencing frightening occurrences that she can't explain. As an overwhelming terror begins to taking over her life, Rose must confront her troubling past in order to survive and escape her horrifying new reality. A very effective and scary horror movie based on a short film from writer-director Parker Finn, who's heavily involved in this release. On the 4K, you have commentary by Parker Finn. Then you have a really nice making of called Something's Wrong with Rose, Making Smile, 29 minutes long, featuring interviews with Parker Finn, producer Isaac Klausner, actor Caitlin Stacey, who plays Laura Weaver in Smile. She's the first person to kind of show the incident, if you will. If you haven't seen the movie, I don't want to give it away, but she played Laura in the Parker Finn short, which is called Laura Hasn't Slept, which is also included here. It's an 11-minute short with an introduction by Parker Finn. You get to see, Caitlin Stacey acting and doing a great job. This opened, I want to say Toronto, or a festival just as COVID was starting, and allowed, this whole film to get developed. Really, the strength of the directing and the story in that short allowed for Smile to get made. So that's super cool. So they talked to Caitlin Stacey. Actor Sosie Bacon plays Rose Cotter in the film. She's, of course, the daughter of Kevin Bacon and Kira Sedgwick. Producer Robert Salerno, director of photography Charlie Saroff, actor Kyle Gallner, had a special effects makeup department Jeremy Selenfriend, actor Robin Weigart, actor Jesse T. Usher, actor Cal Penn, actor Gillian Zinser, actor Rob Morgan. Most of the main cast is involved in this. Production designer Lester Cohen, costume designer Alexis Forte. All of them talking about, the film, what they liked about the story, their particular characters, etc. So it's a really nice, in-depth 29-minute making of. Something called Flies on the Wall inside the score. Now, I thought it was going to be an interview with composer Cristobal Tapia de Veer, but it's really just a featurette showing some of the unconventional instruments and techniques that he used to make the memorable and very eerie score to this film. So it's really just 8 minutes and 50 seconds watching him do that, and that's pretty cool. Deleted scenes, 2 of them with optional commentary by Parker Finn, and then, of course, the Laura Hasn't Slept here short as well. So a very nice 4K of Smile closes out what I can talk about of this set, but there is another film included. I will say it's by a pretty big director who is a horror-based guy. I'd almost want to tease just the back of this, but I'm not going to do it, just to honor what Paramount had said, and that is to not reveal this one. Again, you can find out what it is if you really want to dig for it, but when the set is released on the 24th, I think, it will be obviously revealed at that time what that bonus disc is, and it is definitely in keeping with this group, and a good addition personally. So Paramount Scares comes out October 24th. But anyway, like I said, really nice set with all the stuff you're getting in a beautiful box. And I do recommend picking it up. You know, if you don't have these 4Ks, which in my case, I didn't have any of them, I definitely wanted to get my hands on the set. So thanks again so much to Paramount for sending. Thank you so much for watching. Definitely check out this set when you can. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.